is up, Nuwave Nation? Hey, we are cooking again with our Nuwave products. I'm actually going to make some comfort food tonight. The whole meal is going to be comfort food. The main dish, which is a chicken dish, I usually actually smoke it for about 4 hours on my smoker over pecan wood. But I'm actually going to adapt it for the Nuwave oven tonight. So the trick is, make sure whoever you're cooking for is hungry, because it's always better to cook for hungry people, because everything tastes better when you're hungry. So what I've done, I have taken chicken breast, I flattened it out and stuck it into this zesty Italian dressing, and actually mixed in a little bit of liquid smoke. Since I'm not smoking it on my smoker, I'm going to cook it in the Nuwave. I still wanted to get a little bit of a smoky flavor. This chicken breast has been marinating now for about an hour in the Italian dressing. So this is how we're going to decorate our chicken breast. Go ahead and take a chicken breast. Notice it's good and flat. We're going to take some Greek seasoning and just douse it very, very heavy. Now notice what that chicken breast is laying on is a cross made of bacon, because everything is better with bacon. We're going to wrap that up here in a moment. Place a couple of pieces of cheese in here. We're going to place a few jalapenos in there. And by the way, this is jalapeno juice that the chicken is sitting in. We're going to fold this up. Start toothpicking it. Now, wrap the bacon around it. Stick a few more toothpicks in to hold everything in place. All right, I'm going to finish doing this to all the chicken breast, and then we're going to show you how we're going to do it in the Nuwave oven. All right, so now that the chicken is prepped, we're going to actually start our macaroni and cheese. We're doing baked macaroni and cheese in the Nuwave oven. It's great for it. All my people are from Georgia in the South, the dirty South, so we bake our macaroni and cheese. So what we're going to do, we're going to start out with about a 1/4 cup of butter. Now I have boiled this macaroni noodles, about 10 ounces or so of macaroni noodles. They're nice and hot, so you want to get that butter kind of good and melted. Now this is a variation of my mom and my grandma's recipe. Don't tell my mama that I'm changing the recipe up. She gets all mad because I mess with the sacred cow of the baked macaroni and cheese, but that's all right. That's what cooking's all about, right? A good dosing of pepper. Now you're going to do this to taste, but I always like a lot of pepper in there. A little bit of salt. Again, just to taste. I give a light dosing of granulated garlic. A little granulated garlic powder. And you know me and my Creole powder. Just a very light sprinkle of Creole powder, just to give it a little bit of a seasoning, a little bit of a kick. I got 16 ounces of sharp cheddar, as well as 8 ounces of mozzarella cheese that I've grated up. I'm going to start adding it and mixing it. Don't add it all at once, just a little bit at a time. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in there. 1 cup of whole milk. Just go ahead and add that right in. Add a little bit of cheese. Someone may be saying, man, that's a lot of cheese. Well, I would actually fire back the argument that there is no such thing as a lot of cheese. And you can tell my family is not lactose intolerant. We tolerate that lactose real hard. All right, now what I've got here is a can of evaporated milk, just a 12-ounce can. I'm going to put about half of it in. Stir it in really good. We're going to put the other half in here in a few minutes. Add a little bit more cheese. Now we're going to reserve a little bit of the cheese, just a layer on top of it. All right, now we're going to add the remainder. All right, so I have transferred it to a pie dish. As you can see, it's kind of overflowing. Unfortunately, I don't have any other dishes that I could do this with within the Nuwave oven, but that's all right. Now notice I am adding a little bit of cheese on top. That cheese will brown and get good and crusty while it's baking. And here in a moment, we're going to get our chicken and our macaroni and cheese put in the oven. Show you how. Right, so we've got the macaroni and cheese over in the Nuwave oven at this point. I've lined it the bottom with some foil because it's probably going to bubble over a little bit. Like I said, Y'all need to send Dave a bigger silicone pie thing, right? All right, so anyways, we're gonna keep it on power level high. We're gonna let it go for about 35 minutes. So cook time, 3-5, start. If you notice, I've got 5 of these chicken wraps, stuffed with cheddar and jalapeno, wrapped up, good and seasoned, wrapped in bacon because everything tastes better with bacon. We're gonna go about 15 minutes per side. I've got it on the 1-inch rack, just like I have the macaroni and cheese. Power level high. We're gonna go about 15 minutes per side. See if that's done well enough. That chicken is actually rather thin, and we don't want our bacon to get too burnt. Now we still have about 22 minutes to go on the macaroni and cheese. If you notice, it's starting to brown really good, which is great, but we don't want it to brown too much. So probably at the 20-minute mark, I'm gonna put a layer of foil to tent it. So, wait a minute, what? You want a cookie now, huh? Did you eat what Mama told you to eat? Mm-hmm. All right, 1 cookie, 1. Hey, put 1 back. Hey, let's get my belt off, girl. All right, look at that. So yeah, we're gonna tent that at about the 20-minute mark with a layer of foil, and that will keep it from browning too much. All right, the time is up on the first side. We actually went about 20 minutes. I added another 5 minutes just to be sure, but you can tell that they are cooking good. We're gonna flip them now. Woo, notice it smelling absolutely incredible. So we're gonna actually take these, flip them over. They're cooking really nice. I hope my family is hungry. Everything tastes better when you're hungry. So we're gonna say cook time. Oh, we're gonna go 20 minutes. Start, let it go from there. In a few moments, creamed spinach. All right, if you notice, our chicken is done now. It has turned out absolutely gorgeous. The bacon is totally done. The chicken is done. That cheese is melted inside. We're gonna let this chicken just rest a little bit. All right, and our macaroni and cheese is done. Now we need to let that sit for at least 15 minutes. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that nice, great baked macaroni and cheese. That cheese is gonna be nice and gooey. Like I said, we're gonna let that sit for about 15 minutes. We're actually gonna do creamed spinach now. All right, we're gonna do creamed spinach at this point. I'm using the Precision Induction Cooker Gold. I've got cast iron. I love cooking with cast iron. We're gonna start out, I've got just a couple of sticks of bacon here. We're gonna start that out, let that get good and hot. I've heated this up. Right now we're on medium heat. All right, I'm gonna remove this bacon real quick. We're gonna set that aside, cut it up here in a few moments. Next thing I'm gonna do, I've got a chopped onion. I'm just gonna add that to the bacon drippings and let it saute for a little while, get nice and soft. I went ahead and cranked this up to high just to expedite the time so that my other food doesn't start getting too cold, but this really isn't gonna take too long to make it all. Next thing, I've got 10 ounces. This was a pack of frozen spinach. I thawed out and heated up in the microwave a little bit. I'm gonna add that to the mixture and let this warm up really well. Always cook for hungry people, because everything tastes better when you're hungry. Now while that is heating up, we're gonna add our seasoning. Very simple. We're gonna add to taste, just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, to taste, and just a dash of granulated garlic. Loves my garlic. Now we're gonna let this cook just a little bit, maybe another minute or so. This has been cooking for about a minute, and we're gonna add some heavy whipping cream. Just pour it right in, and you just wanna eyeball it. You don't wanna put too much. Creamed spinach. Keep mixing it up. Now we still have it on power level high. We may cut it back here in a few minutes just to let it simmer. There we are. We're gonna let that cook. While that's nice and hot, we're gonna go ahead and add in about 3 slices of just American cheese. That'll give it just a little bit of cheesiness. That cheese will start melting here pretty quick. Our pan is very hot. Now we are cooking with cast iron. If you do that, make sure before you grab the handle, make sure you use an oven mitt or some kind of a towel, because this whole pan is hot due to the induction cooker. Oh, just a little bit of cream, why not? Because we're tolerating the lactose tonight. Yes, we are. And you remember our friends, the 2 pieces of bacon? Well, we got them nice and chopped up. We're just going to add those back in. You don't have to use bacon. If you don't want to use bacon drippings at the top of this, you can just saute the onions in butter. I do that sometimes. I just had some 2 pieces of bacon left over from the chicken. Now, we're going to let that just simmer and kind of cook down, oh, maybe a couple of minutes. And we'll be good to go to eat our chicken, macaroni cheese, and creamed spinach. I can't even begin to tell you how good this smells. So let's see how everything turned out. Let's try this chicken. Remember, I usually make this on the smoker. But how well did the precision induction cooker do? Now, be careful. I tried to remove some of these toothpicks. But this chicken, as you can tell, it's all nice and melted in there. Let's just cut it in half, just to see how. Ooh, that cheese, everything is melted. Let's just do a little piece. See how it. Oh, absolutely incredible, very juicy. Now look at this macaroni cheese, good crust on top. Look at this. Oh, look at that cheese, it's good and gooey. I'm gonna have a revival right there just from that. Praise God. Little of this creamed spinach. All of this done not with conventional cookware, but with Nuwave products. Easy to do. Do it for your family. Let me know how it turns out.